Hi, all. This is Craig with Acre Mortgage, and I am doing a video today on debt consolidation. And this is a type of refinance where you're taking cash out using the equity of your property to pay off your existing mortgage, settlement fees, and some other debt that might help you out financially. So, we're going to go over some of the benefits of a debt consolidation loan and how it might be able to help you out, not only to free up cash flow, but once you have that cash flow freed up, what are some of the things that you can do with that freed up cash? So, with this example, we have a borrower that's looking to take out a $500,000 loan. Or excuse me, their house is worth $500,000. They're taking out a $354,000 loan, and they're using that $354,000 and change to pay off the existing mortgage, which right here is $274,971, the settlement fees, plus three debts. And those three debts would be a car loan, a personal loan, and a large credit card. So just to give you some context on the current loan, this borrower has a 4.75 interest rate. The payment, this would include their existing mortgage plus the minimum payments that are involved with the debt consolidation, right? The credit card, the student loan, and the car payment. And this would be the new loan, right? New loan is higher in interest, larger loan amount. This is the APR of the loan, but this is the total mortgage payment after consolidating the debt, paying off the existing mortgage and settlement fees. So just real quick, just to give you some context of what the current mortgage payment is, right? The difference in mortgage payment. This is a breakdown of the existing mortgage payment and a breakdown of the new mortgage payment. And here's the difference, right? But this is the non-mortgage debt plus the mortgage, and that's what you're seeing on that first page right here. So this is the total difference between the mortgage, the new mortgage, and what they're paying with all the debt and the new and the current mortgage. So if you see here, that's a grand savings of $957 a month. It's a lot of money, and I'm going to go over some examples and strategies of what you could do with that money. And the first thing I want to do is kind of go over a breakdown of the debt consolidation and how we determine, whether this makes sense. So if you look over the right-hand side, it gives you some charts, right? It tells you what your monthly payment difference is between the new mortgage and the current mortgage. Obviously, it's, it looks like you're saving some money compared, right, to paying off the debt plus the mortgage. You're saving some money monthly. But your overall savings, in a sense, over 60 months, because of the higher interest rate, is going down. And you can see your net worth is also down in a long period of time, in 15 years. So you say at first glance, does this make sense for me to do? And the reality of it is this is taken into effect that you're depositing an extra $957 or having $957 left in savings every month. The question is what are you doing with that money? Are you using it as an investment vehicle, right? So this is basically, if you just want to save $957 a month, then your net worth, okay, every month you're still saving $957, but you're paying for it, right? So you have that savings, but the question is what do you do with that money? This is all information in regards to you saving money monthly. So we're going to get into how to increase your net worth over time, and we're going to get into some other strategies that will show you that even in a higher interest rate environment, you can still use this debt consolidation loan to your advantage because you can save a lot of money monthly by paying off higher interest rate debts. So let's look at this debt consolidation tool. So in this picture, right, it shows you that your current mortgage, your freedom point, right, with all of your debt, um, your current loan situation is at $231,366, right? Right now, with the new loan, you're at 30 years, right, with that new loan. And this is showing that your money strategy is losing you money, right? Minus $95,000. Nobody wants to do that. But again, that's taken into consideration that the system doesn't know what you're doing with the $957 a month. But you can see here, your short term, this is how much interest you're paying on your debts. Very close to what you're paying in 5 years on your debts with the new mortgage, right? This is 119,000. This is 115,000, and you can kind of get some feedback on the debts, right? Your mortgage in 5 years, your remaining balance is 242. Your remaining balance here is 333,000, and the interest that you're paying on each debt, right? Here you're up to $61,700 roughly. Here, in 5 years, the balance of your car is paid off. You would have already paid $5,518. You still owe $13,283 with an $800 minimum payment a month, right? And the $190 a month in your student loan, you still have $455 left to pay on that. In the long-term scenario, right, you would have paid a lot more money too, right? Your net worth at that time frame in a long-term scenario is $750,000. In this scenario, $491. But after 15 years, if you have $957 saved up every month, that's $172,000, $260,000. It's not this report is not justifying the benefit right now because it's saying, what are you doing with that $172,000? And that's where I can help you understand what you might want to do with that money, that savings that you're making every month. So the first thing that you can do would be to have a principal buy down of your mortgage, right? So by saving this cash flow monthly, you can say, okay, I want to take this extra money and pay down my mortgage as quick as I can. So by paying this figure right here, which is your current mortgage payment plus the minimum payments for your debt, taking that number right now and using this savings, the difference, to apply towards the principal every month. What does that do for you, right? How long does it take you to pay off this new mortgage? So if we do that, and this is an easy adjustment on our end to do, I take $957, and you can see here that this will change, right? I'm buying down the principal every month, reducing, my mortgage debt. And this is all the same output that you're making every month right now, except now I'm applying this towards the principal of the loan. And a real big picture that I want you to see is how long it takes you to pay off a 30-year mortgage if you take all those savings and apply it directly towards the principal. You're saving over 10 years, 11 years, or 11 years exactly on your loan. It's a lot of interest. More importantly, you can see that in here, right? So you're paying off your loan in 14 years and 1 month. At that point in time, you would only pay $200,000 on your mortgage, and you'd have paid $231,000 at 25 years, right? So let's look at your short term, right? Short term, you're still losing money, $108,000 in interest, and all your debts here, you're still at 5 years, you're paying $115,000 in interest. But let's look at the long term. At 15 years, right, your loan is paid off, and you're still saving $957 a month, right? Because you no longer pay that debt. And you still have a balance remaining on your mortgage. So this is where net worth comes in, right? Because now your debts are gone in 15 years. You have a net worth because your house is worth X amount of dollars, right? It's appreciating every year. And you still have debt on this house. So you have no debt whatsoever. And your net worth is the value of your house, right? In 15 years. And your house at 15 years minus what you owe would be your net worth at that point in time. So you're truly in a good situation here at 15 years. Um, but how much interest would you spend after the 25 years is the question, right? And we can quickly figure that out by just doing a 25-year or a 26-year analysis. 312 months. And you could see, all right, I don't know that your house is going to be worth 1.3 in 26 years, 1.3 million, but you could see that after all is said and done, even at the higher mortgage interest, if you paid the same payments that you're paying now and applied those savings towards your mortgage, you'd have saved $77,500 in interest. Now all your debts are gone, but over that, your net worth is the same, right? Because there's no debt on your property after 25 years, but you had already spent $277,500. In 26 years, you only spent $200,000. So you saved yourself $78,000 roughly, $77,500 by just doing a debt consolidation refinance. So this kind of shows you the long-term approach, right? If your goals are, I want to stay in this property for a while, then you could see the value in consolidating debt. And a lot of people don't understand too is like a large credit card like a Visa, when you're just paying minimum payments, it could take you 20 years to pay that off, right? And that can sometimes cripple a family. But with a mortgage, right? I mean, it's you can amortize it over up to 30 years. So it's keeping it affordable, but it's also using that money. If you're not, you're not in dire need to save that money, but you can still look at this as an investment on how to consolidate debt and use it to your advantage. You can say, okay, I could be debt free in 14.1 years by using this loan and the equity of my house to my advantage. So I feel like that's important, even in a high interest rate environment, to see the advantages of consolidating higher interest rate accounts, right? Credit cards, auto loans, personal loans, they all have, and these aren't the interest rates, right? These are the percentages of your debt. But, in terms of interest rates in general, mortgage interest rates are always going to be lower in any environment than a car loan, than a personal loan, than a credit card. In most instances, I know that they have certain auto loan programs where it's like 1% interest or 2% interest. But for the most part, the average of that interest rate is usually larger in most cases than a mortgage in most situations. But, even if you just took the credit cards, right? And, and you took a personal loan, those are almost always going to be higher interest rates than a mortgage at any given time. Let's look at another strategy, right? Let's say you want to take this savings and you want to invest it, right? In maybe a vehicle that's going to produce you more of a return than what you're paying in interest, right? Than 6.875 interest. That might be difficult right now, but there are definitely investments, short term and long term, that could provide you a better annual interest return than 6.875%. And people do this a lot, right? They use other people's money to their advantage. And you'd be basically using your equity, borrowing money to get a higher rate of return on the money that you borrowed and what you're paying for it. So let's give an example of that. So if I took that same $957 a month, right, and I say, okay, I want to invest $957 at a rate of return of, let's say, 8.5%. Um, what does that do for me? So I'm going to go back to this debt consolidation screen. So in this situation, you're not using it to buy down the balance of the loan, right? And we're going to change the long term analysis, right, to back to 15 years. So you can see. So with the current loan, right, you're still up to 25 years, 1 month, right, and interest that you're paying on your mortgage. Um, with the 30 years loan, you still have paid a lot more in interest. But look at your net worth. Let me see if I'm doing this right. Excuse me, guys. That's after 15 years, what your net worth is, right? And that's because you have assets now accumulated of $346,000 after investing $957 a month at an 8.5% return, right? That's incredible, right? So no matter how you look at it, if you sold your house, right, at 15 years in your current situation and paid off all of your debt, you'd be at $750,243. If you did the same thing, right, sold your house, right, and what assets do you have? You have the sale of your house plus whatever's in your investment account, right? So what's the worth of your assets? Now you have $985,721 after 15 years. What about 30 years, right? If you keep this for the duration and you keep, investing that amount of money in a long term investment, let's just say 25 years, because that's when your first mortgage is paid off. Um, if you did absolutely nothing, still have your house worth $1.3 million, right? Because that after paying off all the debt. But in this situation, you're at $2.2 million, right? That's almost $900,000 more in net worth by using $957 at an 8.5% investment to your advantage. So, what are some other things that you could do with that freed up money? I know, a lot of people might want to free up that money so that they have the ability to incur another debt, right? Maybe you want to free up cash flow so that you can buy another property, right? Maybe you see the potential of borrowing more money to buy another property. So you want to be able to have enough money available to absorb another debt. Maybe you have kids that are going to college and you want to be able to take on another $300 a month in debt, and saving that $1,000 a month allows you to do that. So I think in general, people look at a refinance in only one form or fashion, in a sense, and say, okay, if the rates aren't better, then it's not, doing a refinance is not right for me. When in fact, you can see here that there's potential to take advantage of any market, including higher interest rate markets, in this example, to use that cash out, to use that debt consolidation to your advantage, to reinvest or use those savings for a purpose of maybe incurring another debt or buying down the principal of the loan. Um, so I hope this helped you out. I'm sure that Some of you might have questions, but I'm available at any point in time. You can reach me at 856-552-0715 direct, or you can email my team at myloanteam@acremortgage.com. I hope you learned a little bit about this scenario. And if you want a free consultation to go over your scenario and see how it works for you, we have, everybody's scenario is different. We can certainly look at your scenario like we are right now in this example and find out whether a debt consolidation loan can work for you. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. See you on the next one.